It's been a while since I posted anything, so today I'm going to give you an update on where we're at and where we're heading. This is the accumulated mess of about 2 months worth of work. The cat did that, I swear. This right here is from wiring up the machine shed over there, and I'll show you all that stuff in a little bit. Wiring the machine shed, this is from building the stairs back there, and these little wedges here are from cutting stakes to do the layout for the addition to the tiny house. Once I got the electric wired up over in the machine shed, I bent a whole bunch of rebar. This is one of them right here. And I assembled some rebar cages right here. A while back, I made that chicken tractor, and I still have this stuff laying around from that. I'm actually doing a review of that silent shop vac. That's going to be pretty cool. You have to stick around and watch that. And I'm also doing a review of a little handheld one. This thing right here. Really helpful around the shop. And again, that review is going to be coming out in a little while. HEPA filter. Going further back, this tin is there from painting the stringers on the stairway. And this cardboard here is a little more recent. I painted a window well. Well, I'll show you that in just a second. That's for the massive block wall that we built. And there was a whole lot to that. I'll link the videos above. I took inventory on all of the ductwork stuff so that I can finish the duct runs once I get this wall in place. And I also took inventory of all of my airline stuff so that I can get that finished up. But more on that in a little bit. Let's go out and look at the stuff outside and then come back to a nice clean shop. Got a pile of rebar right there, and this is where I've been cutting it. I believe I had the stair video on this channel, but if not, I'll link to it. Here's the massive wall that we built. I believe this took, it was either 2 or 3 days. We ran into some gigantic boulders right there, and another one around the corner. And I rented a jackhammer and spent, I don't know, 6 or 7 hours breaking out these boulders. This is where the electrical line went across and into the machine shed here. I have an electric box right here that I put in probably 8 years ago, and it went down and had like a plug on the end. I just shoved the wire up through there and put it in conduit through here, and it runs all the way over to the pedestal over there. Here's that window well I was talking about. The reason this is here is because if they ever need to take this back off to change the meter or something, they'll be able to get at it once this is all filled in. We have another layer of blocks going on here, the caps, and those come all the way up to here, and then this will all be backfilled. So it's going to have dirt or gravel going all the way up to here. I had coils of wire from the wiring of the tiny house and coming from the shop right in this area right here. I wired them up through the conduit, got them connected to breakers in here, and this is pretty much done until we put them top blocks on. Then this will be bolted into place with concrete anchors. Those little wedges I showed you in there were from these stakes here. These batter boards here give me the location of the top of the piers, which I'll be doing soon. They also give me the outside edges of the piers, and they give me the center of the hole that I gotta dig. A lot of work gonna be going on here. I put this thing together yesterday, and unfortunately, the motor doesn't work. I'm working with this company to see if they can replace the motor right away. That's the name of the company right there. Hopefully they step up and get me a new motor so I can get working on this. We put in 200 feet of septic line. It ends right here under that gravel. I got it capped off. That's going to be connected to the house at the right time. This is covered up because this is all going to get backfilled, but that line runs right through here up into this area somewhere, and then it shoots over that way right through the garden, right where that watering trough is. It goes right through there into the yard and over to the septic system. There was a massive mess right here. They cut right through here and went over to the septic tank. You can kind of see the outline of where the trench is. I got grass growing again. There was a big pile of dirt right there. I've been taking that and filling in low spots around the land. Got everything filled in over here. And I painted the tops of the cleanouts. We got one cleanout that goes that way up to the tiny house, and that cleanout right there goes over to the septic tank. I also cut, collected, and split this lumber right here, but you don't want to see that. You want to see some woodworking, so let's get back in the shop, all nice and clean, and I'll show you what's going to be going on there. Back in the shop, got this all nice and cleaned up and ready to start on the next part of the shop build, which is going to be the door. I'm not going to be building the entire door right away, but I need to get this framework in place so that I can put the skin on the wall and keep going with all this stuff. This is super complicated. I got to cut this back and then put a solid maple piece in there, and then a maple piece over this, and then another maple piece between the one that's on here and on top of this that will act as furring, and then it'll have parts of it that stick out almost to the face of the plywood that's going to go on there. You're not going to be able to see that on these. I'm not quite done with these drawings yet, but this part right here sticks out almost to the face of the plywood. I'm going to route the back of it out, and that's because the hinges will need that. The hinges come right up to the face of the door. Like the face will be right around here. There's going to be another 1.5 inches on this stuff. And we have right now foam, and the furring is going to be pine, and I don't want to attach these to pine. So this whole hinge side is going to get beefed up, and then it's going to get a nice clear pine jamb in there. Then I can build the frame of the door, and I'll actually have a door. The frame of the door will have insulation and a skin on it, and then I'll build the hidden door on top of that on both sides. That's going to be a real interesting project, but it's holding up everything else. I can't do any of the skinning on either side of the wall until that's done. So this next week, I'm going to go get the lumber for this, and we'll start working on it. I have the machinery to do it now with the dust collection, so we can get it done, and then we'll continue on this wall. Also, I'm going to be finishing up the dust collection, starting with this 5-inch drop. That's going to come down, go over, and connect to the saw I found this out in the machine shed. I got stuff from my old shop all over the place. This connects to the bottom in there. I don't know if this was on this saw or if it was on my old Delta saw, but no matter what, we'll make it work. So I'll attach that onto here and then cover this up with a little bit of cardboard or something. It's really hard to stop the dust on these contractor saws, but this will be a big upgrade from just letting it drop onto the floor. Then we're going to have an angled Y like this right here. Over here, it's going to go that way and over, and then drop down to a machinery island right about to where this table is, and that's going to serve a belt sander and a shaper, and both of those can have some really long stuff going through them, so they're going to be in line with this door right here, and they'll have a bunch of room that way. And then the main trunk is going to go up at a 45-degree angle to the ceiling, go all the way across, double 45, come down the wall, double 45 again, and that'll go into the back of a downdraft sanding table. And then we're going to have 2 machines on this side and 2 machines on that side. So we're going to have takeoffs on that, branches. One of the branches will Y down this way and come over and hit the 2 machines over here. And then there'll be a branch right below that that comes down and catches the 2 machines on that side. I have pictures of that, but they're not real good, but you can see what I'm talking about. There's the belt sander and the shaper right there. And then over here, we have the bandsaw and the mortiser. Those 2 machines right there. A spindle sander and one of them disc and belt sander combos right there. I don't have either one of these tools, so this branch will not be a priority, but you have to figure all that stuff out ahead of time, and I need the Y in place, and you really need to buy all this stuff at the same time because the shipping is incredible from Oneida. It's really expensive to ship this stuff, so hopefully they'll have free shipping on orders over whatever. You can kind of see on this drawing, yeah, this one, it's changed since I did this. Like I just showed you, that Y is going to come up right here and then go over. On this one, I show it up after it goes up to the ceiling and then Y-ing over. And the reason for that is because I already have the elbows and Ys and stuff for that. But this is the 7-inch line coming across, going down, and the downdraft sanding table will be right here. Oh, and I got the air lines figured out. I've been counting up the stuff that I need to finish up, figuring out what I don't have, and figuring out what I need to order. That's going to come to a T right here, come down to a small hose for a blow-off thing right here. It's going to come around the corner, and then the main stuff is all going to be over here. It's going to come down, go through the wall, over to this Goodyear hose reel. That's going to be out in the garage. Going to come down more and then come over this way to an oiler and a regulator and a manifold, and then it will be connected to the tools from there. The assembly area is going to be right there. So I'll have my nail guns and my pneumatic sander, all that stuff right in this area right here. That's what this stuff is. The air line comes down. That's going to be a drain down there. Goes through the wall into the garage and comes over to the regulator / oiler and manifold over here. And then Well, I don't know if you can even see it on here. It's in magenta. Got 5-inch lines going across. And then we have that Oneida floor sweep. The only reason I'm installing this is because I bought it long ago and I don't want it just sitting around. It was very expensive. That will get bolted right to the floor, and that's going to go right next to the downdraft table. Right now, I'm using my Stealth Sonic vacuum. I did a review on that. That thing is sweet. Really, really quiet. You'll have to watch that review. So that's what's going on. But the plan is I have to work on this tiny house. I need to get that dried in before winter, so I'm going to be spending a lot of time on that. And whenever I get a rain day or just a really bad day outside, I'm going to have something ready to go, and I'm going to be working on this stuff. I'm going to get this door in there this coming week, no matter what, or to get this framing in there. And then from there, we're just going to go whenever we have a little bit of time to work on this. We're going to be putting furring on this and then starting to clad it again with the 3/4 inch BCX. Also, in the coming weeks, as I need the tools, I'm going to be reviewing the DeWalt router, the 5 amp hour power stack, the Festool tools, and a few other things. We're also going to be getting this back in service. Got to do some cleanup and rebuilding work on that. So we got a lot of interesting stuff coming up, but problem is the tiny house comes first. So the videos might be a little scarce for a little while, but they'll be back on track in no time. We have 953 subscribers with 47 left to go. If you can subscribe, that would be real helpful in getting this channel out to the masses. They really don't promote you very well if you have under 1,000 subscribers. So if you can do that, I would be very grateful. Okay, that's going to wrap it up. I might show a little bit of the trip over to the lumberyard. It's a real interesting trip, and the lumberyard itself is pretty cool too. So make sure you stop back to see that.